Hello everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I've got a bunch of packages, so that means it's time for a mailbag. Let's get started with this one here from Amazon. And, yeah, okay, that's great. This is anti-static bags in an anti-static bag. Let me open this up here. And so these are 5.9 by 7.87, which is 15 by 20 centimeters. And these bags are bigger than the other ones that I had, which I actually have them sitting right over here. So it was mentioned in the last video by several commenters that this stuff is not anti-static, it is anti-static buildup. And that's true, and that's the reason why I actually use these bags. You know, the more I'm around the old electronics, I have stuff in the old black foam, and that stuff deteriorates over time, and it sticks to the chips and just makes an awful mess. So I actually prefer using the pink foam, although that stuff is a little thick. I like using the pink foam with the anti-static bags, and these are true anti-static bags. And so one of the reasons why I got a little bit bigger bags is because I have a little bit bigger foam, so it is going to be thicker, which could be problematic. I may get some thinner foam as well, but when I have quantities of chips bigger than what will fit in these bags, which I think, you know, most of the small like 7400 series, you know, ICs, I can fit 20 or 30 or so in one. What is that stuck to the bag? I don't know. But anyway, you know, I can fit like 20 or 30 in here if I kind of cram them. But these bags are more for, one, if I have a lot of chips, and two, if I have more expensive chips that need to be laid out in foam. The 74 series chips, most of those are so cheap that it's just not worth the cost of the foam to put them in there. So anyway, that's all I talk about bags. So I thought I'd pop in here real quick. I was in the middle of organizing my logic chips. Yes, I organized my logic chips. I have them all categorized and cataloged so I know what I have when I go to start a project. Now, I noticed that I had accidentally made a second bag for 7486. And you'll notice that I label these things just, you know, with a Sharpie. It's pretty easy to see from where I'm at. But one of the things I like about these bags is I can actually come in here and just, even though this has been on there for, I don't know, a year, I can just come in here, take some isopropyl alcohol and rub it right back off. So you don't even have to make labels for these things. You can just label them, and then as long as you don't spill alcohol on them, you're good to go. And next up, we've got another one in similar packaging from Amazon. Let's check it out. I know there's a little pull tab, so I could use that, but oh, that's funny. I forgot about these. 5 240 gig SSDs from Lexar. Now, I got some of these a while ago, and they were a little cheaper then. I think I paid 12 bucks, and this time I spent the princely sum of $15 on them. And I could have spent another $6 and got 480 gig ones, but to be honest, most of the time these things are used for just putting like Windows 7, Windows 10 on some older computers, primarily where I use them for single purpose. So I'll have a little server, and you know, I'll need Windows 7 or 10 on it, or you know, even some of the older operating systems. And so these are just they're cheap. I wish they were the 12 bucks that I got them for last time instead of the 15, but you know, they'll get the job done, and had a real good success with them. And so I went through the 3 that I have, and so it's time to order 5 more because I like them that much. And next up, we've got a box from Amazon. There should be some stuff coming in from China, but this is my just initial order. This is kind of a sad purchase. Somewhere around here, I have my Blitzwolf gimbal, and this is a very nice gimbal. I've had a few weird issues with it not wanting to connect, or just kind of not snapping into action like it should. Go crazy for me turning it on without anything in there, but it's just kind of limp. It doesn't actually do anything, and I have not been able to figure out why. I've contacted Blitzwolf, asked for instructions on factory resetting this thing, and yeah, in fact, they don't even have it on their site anymore. So I don't know if other people had problems with it, but it gave me, I don't know, a year or two of good use, and I loved it. But since that was not there, since that's not working anymore, I did have to get another one, and I got a cheap one. I think this was like 30 bucks instead of the 150 or something that thing is, because I basically just need the stabilization for, I can do other things for tripods, but I really need something that when I'm walking around, like I'm getting ready to do my garage tour, it's just too shaky to not have some kind of gimbal on there. Now this, I mean, this thing is nowhere near the quality. In fact, this may be going back. This thing is nowhere near the quality of the other one. It's plastic and, you know, just feels like junk. But if it does stabilization and I can walk around the shop and do my yearly tours with it, then that may just be good enough. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a little test of it in a video or something like that, and show you guys how it works. But this is a very, very cheap gimbal stabilizer L08 selfie stick tripod, and obviously I'm not going to be selfie sticking it. I'm going to be turning it around and using it for just plain stabilization. All right, last but not least, one I've been waiting for, and it got delayed a couple times by Amazon, but I finally got it, so let's get it out. These are something I've wanted for a long time. I had them on my wish list. None of you guys bought them. That's fine. I'm not offended or anything like that. But these things are longer bits, and I'm not expecting the best quality, but I'll show you what's going on so I can find the zipper. It's really important to have that super long handle. So these are longer hex bits. And the one I needed in particular was a T15. They are labeled, that's a T15. The problem is I have tons of bits. I'm sure you'd expect that. You know, I have these styles and all that. This one's really dirty, but I didn't have this in a T15, and I did have this T15 handle, but basically anything shorter than that wouldn't work. And even if I used an extension with a really small head on it, it was still too big. It was hitting the side of the thing. So let me show you what I've got going on here, and then I'll get back to the bits themselves. All right, so I'm refurbishing my first and second Mac Classics, and down there, this is a T15 screw that, you know, this little adapter is too big to fit down there. And just the way it sits, you just can't really get any of the tools that I had down there. And like once you get that point, the screwdriver goes to the side, and it was just really crazy annoying. So I needed something like this that I could get down there and grab the actual screw with, and I probably won't even use the drill on it, but I just needed to be able to get down there and had no other way to do it. And I used most of that bit. So this is a set of 30 of these, and I'll be spending some time reorganizing and stuff like that, but it's kind of a cool little thing to have because it's pretty rare, but occasionally you're going to run into something like that where you just can't fit in the spot. And I'm a quasi bike mechanic, and so I have nearly every Allen and Torx thing you could imagine, and still couldn't get it done with the stuff I have. I'm very used to putting Allens and Torx in weird places, but this just wasn't happening for me, so I thought I'd go ahead and order these. Now, you know, I see the complaints I see about them. Wow, they're really magnetic. You see the way they're sticking to each other? You know, you see people complain like, hey, you know, it stripped out after a week of using it at my job. I mean, it is not, you know, these are not meant to be all day factory, you know, factory things. They're made to be occasional use, and so a lot of times I'll probably actually use them with a handle instead of the drill. And if I do use it with the drill, I'm going to be very sparing with it. So again, this is kind of a luxury. These are about 30 bucks, and so no, sorry, they're probably about 25 bucks. So, you know, they're not the cheapest thing, but they do come with a little handle, carrying case and all that, so I'm going to know where they're at. And they're magnetic to start with, which is kind of cool for the types of things I do. So I'll let you know what I think about these things. I've heard people complain that they could be a little bit out of balance. You know, you go putting it on an impact driver and things, you know, you get a little bit of a death wobble from it and stuff like that. But that's not really going to be an issue for me. Like when I need this, this isn't going to be my only bit. When I need this, it's going to be a special. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to unzip the case. I'm going to get out the 1 or 2 screws that I can't get out otherwise and call it a day. I really like these. I never really thought about it, but I really do like these. Now, obviously, these are smaller than the shaft itself, but you'd be amazed how many times some kind of extension is going to get in your way, or even, you know, now I can use the extension to get down further with it. But the important thing is that this part gets in some pretty tight areas. So I would have liked to have seen this a little bit longer, but I'm sure you'd lose some torqueability on it. So we'll see. Overall, though, I'm pretty excited about these. I don't really love the way this thing can slip under the zipper. I don't know if you saw that there. That's kind of funny. Like, that actually slides under the zipper. That seems like kind of a dumb design. But I'm not going to be shipping it or anything like that. It's going to stay in its place. I don't really love this tab thing. But on the zipper, look how far the zipper is. That's ridiculous. Sometimes when something like that happens, if this is just a little pro tip from traveling a lot, sometimes if something like travels way back there and it shouldn't, I'll actually put a couple stitches in there as long as you can open the thing up anyway. I'll get the zipper to the furthest position that it can, that it needs to be to open it, and then I'll put a couple stitches around the zipper and stop it from going too far up in itself. So anyway, these are those fancy bits. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I've got a lot more stuff coming in the mail the next couple weeks. There will be more mailbag videos. Have a great day.